So we are live. Hi everyone, welcome back to Geeks for Geeks practice. Today in this video we'll be discussing the problem that is can make triangle. Previously this problem has been asked in some of the organizations, although the name has not been mentioned here. So please give me a +1 in the chat if my voice is clearly audible to everyone and the screen is visible, so that we can start with this particular problem as soon as possible, right? Also let me know if my voice is clearly audible or not. Okay, so I'll write the name for this problem. The name is can make triangle. The name of the problem is can make triangle. And in this particular problem, I'll just wait for 1 more minute for everyone else to join and then we'll start. All of you can give me a +1 in the chat if my voice is clearly audible and the screen is visible, so that we can start. Also make sure to like the video, right? Guys, please hit the like button and give me a +1 in the chat. Okay. So in this particular problem, what you have to do is you'll be given an array A of n elements. Basically, you'll be given an array A of n elements. Let's say the array that has been given to you is this array. Let's say the array is 1, 2, 2 and 4. Suppose that the array that has been given to you, the array A that has been given to you is 1, 2, 2 and 4. What you have to do is you'll be given this particular array, and you have to you would like to know how many triangles can be formed with the side length equal to the adjacent elements. So what does it mean? So basically in a triangle there are basically 3 sides, right? So if I give you this particular array, that is 1, 2, 2, all of you can give me a +1 in the chat if my voice is clearly audible and the screen is visible, right? If you will be given this array 1, 2, 2 and 4, so with this particular array, what you can do is, let's say you choose these 3 elements, right? You'll be choosing 3 adjacent elements. Like in this case, if you choose 3 adjacent elements like this, so you have to tell whether you can make a triangle using these 3 sides or not. Similarly, you can choose these 3 sides, adjacent sides, and you have to tell whether you can make a triangle using the side 1, 2, 2 and 1, 2, 2 or not, right? So let's say if I give you an array like this, if I give you an array, let's say 1, then 2, then let's say 4, then let's say 5, then let's say 7, then let's say 9, let's say 11, something like that, right? So what you have to do is you have to consider all the adjacent element pairs, and you have to tell whether you can make make the triangle possible or not with these 3 sides. So first of all, you will be considering these 3 sides and you will check whether it is possible to make a triangle or not. Then you will consider these 3 sides and you will check whether it's possible to make a triangle or not. Then you will check these 3 sides and you will check whether it's possible to make a triangle or not. Then you will check these 3 sides and you will check whether it's possible to make a triangle or not. And then in the end you will check these 3 sides and you will check whether it's possible to make a triangle or not. Guys, please hit the like button and give me a +1 in the chat if you have understood this particular question, right? Please write understood in the chat, guys, if you have understood this particular problem. I hope you have understood it. Basically, if in this particular thing, if it is possible to make a triangle using these 3 sides, then you have to return for this particular segment you have to write 1, otherwise you have to write 0. That is what you have to do. Now let's come back to the initial question that was given to us, initial test case. So let's say if it was 1, 2, 2 and 4, right? So if you give me 3 sides, right? So these are the 3 sides initially. These will be the 3 sides. The 3 sides will be 1, 2 and 2. So I know that if there are 3 sides of the rectangle, that is A, B, C are 3 sides of the rectangle, then I know the property that the sum of 2 sides is greater than the third side, right? For a particular triangle to be possible, I know that the sum of 2 sides should be greater than the third side. So that is what will happen. Like A plus B should be greater than C, and B plus C should be greater than A, and C plus A should be greater than B, right? This should be the thing. That is the sum of 2 sides. Sum of 2 sides should be greater than the third side. Sum of the 2 sides A and B should be greater than C. Sum of the 2 sides B and C should be greater than A. Sum of the 2 sides C and A should be greater than B, right? So these are the 3 scenarios that can be possible. So all these 3 scenarios should be satisfying. If this satisfied for a particular segment that we are checking on, for this particular segment, if it satisfies, then for this particular segment we'll store 1 in the list or in the vector, otherwise we'll store a 0, right? So that is what we are going to do. Guys, please write clear in the chat if you guys are clear with this question. I know it's a very easy problem, to be honest, right? So if I have this side, that is if I have this side, that is 1, 2, 2 and 4. So let's consider it. So if I have 1, 2, 2 and 4. So what I'll do is I'll have my I here. This will be according to it I plus 1. This will be I plus 2, right? So these will be the sites that I'll be considering initially. 1, 2, 2, right? These are the sites that I'm considering. So when I'm considering these sites, so what I'll say is I'll check that whether, like, I'll say that the first site is 1, right? So I'll say that, okay, let's say A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, C is equal to 2. Now let's check whether it's possible or not. So I'll say A plus B is greater than C. So 3 is greater than 2, so that's possible. Right, hi Shreya. 4 is greater than 1, right? B plus C is greater than A. That is also good, right? Now I'll check for C plus A is greater than B or not. So C plus A is 3. 3 is greater than 1. So I can see that all the three conditions are satisfied. That is A plus B is greater than C. Then B plus C is greater than A. And then what happens is the lastly this thing, that is C plus A is greater than B, right? So sum of all the combinations of two sides is greater than the third side. In that case, I'll say that, okay, the triangle is possible. Now that is what I'll do. That is what I'll do in the check function. So if that is possible, so I'll return a true from the check function. So what I'll do is basically I need to run a loop for I starts from 0. I would, all of you please hit the like button, guys, if you have understood this much part. I is lesser than n minus 2. And I'll be doing an I plus plus y n minus 2 because if I have 1, 4, let's say I have this thing. Let's say I have 1, 2, 2 and 4, right? So what will happen? First of all, I will be there, then I plus 1, I plus 2, right? But when I'll be here, then this will be my last index because this will be my I. This will be I plus 1, this will be I plus 2. If my I is here, then I'll have an I plus 1, but I'll not have an I plus 2. That is why I'll be lesser, I will be lesser than n minus 2. That is why I will be lesser, running less than 2 indexes, right? So I will terminate 2 indexes before. So maximum that I can go is from, I can start from here and I can go till here, right? Because you are considering 3 indexes and you do not want an out of bound error, right? That's why you are doing it. Now what you will do here is, guys, please hit the like button and give me a +1 in the chat. Please write clear in the chat if you have understood it. Similarly, in this case, what you will do is you will have a check function. Let's say you will have a list or a vector. Let's say you make a vector, say in C++. So int vector v answer, let's say, or anything that you of your choice. So I'll check what? I'll check a of I, comma a of I plus 1, comma a of I plus 2. So I'll check for these three sites. So basically I'll be having a function. This function will return true if the sum of the two sides, for all the combination of sum of the two sides, it is greater than the third side, right? So that is what I'll be doing. If that is true, then in that case what I'll do is I'll say answer dot push back. In the answer I'll push back 1, right? It means that is possible for this particular window. Else I'll say that answer dot push back 0, right, for this particular case. I hope that you have understood this much part, right? So that's what we'll be doing. So let me show you the code part. Let me show that first of all my code is running and getting accepted as well. So you can see that it is passing all the 6,000 test cases that are present here. So I'll walk you through my code that I have written. So basically what I've done is basically, I'll just zoom in a little bit. So this is the bool function, check function that I have made, and this is the original vector, right? So in this particular function, what I have done is basically this is the can make triangle function in which I'm given the vector a and all the n integers, right? So what I'll be doing is I'll be having a vector int answer and I'll be running it less than the size minus 2, right? I is lesser than a dot size minus 2, as I told you why I'll be running that, right? So what I'll do is I'll call a check function. I'll call check ai comma ai plus 1 comma ai plus 2. That is, I'll call for the 3 adjacent indexes, and then what I'll do is if this check functions give me a true, then that means that, let's say the size is a b c, that is a is equal to a of I, b is equal to a of I plus 1, c is equal to a of I plus 2, right? So if these are the three sides, then if the sum of all the two sides combination, if a plus b is greater than c, similarly b plus c is greater than a, similarly a plus c is greater than b. So if all the three sides sum is greater, right, for all the other two sides, the sum that I'm making is greater than the third side, in that case I'll return a true, indicating that this particular triangle is possible because all the three conditions are getting satisfied. Otherwise, in the else part, I'll simply return a false, indicating that for that particular elements ai plus 1 and ai plus 2, I'll not be able to make it, right? So that's what I'll do if I come to the else part, that is if this function check returns a false. So that means I plus 1 and I plus 2 cannot make the sides of a triangle. In that case, for this particular window, I'll insert 0, and in the end I'll simply need to return the answer, right? Please write clear in the chat, guys, if you are clear with this question, right? Are you guys clear with this question? I hope that you guys are clear with it, right? Are you all clear with it? Just let me know in the comments, guys. A little quick. Please write clear in the chat and like the video, guys. I hope that you have completely understood this particular problem. Is it clear to everyone? I hope it is, right? So basically what you were doing is you were sliding a window. You were sliding a window of size 3. Now you'll say that why did not we take any other pointers? So basically, let's say this is a window of size 4. So basically the first window that I'm traversing is this. Then the next window I'm traversing is this, right? So if my eye is here, then correspondingly this is I plus 1 and this is I plus 2. Similarly, if this is my eye, so this is I plus 1, this is I plus 2. Now I cannot, I always need to check that for I will be always starting from 0, but I will be lesser than n minus 2, because the last two indexes I cannot put my I at, because I will not be having a I plus 2 or I plus 1 in that case, right? And I don't want to get a runtime error, or I don't want to traverse any index which is actually not present, right? Is it clear, guys? Please write clear in the chat if you are clear with it. Shreya, Mahesh, Peaky Blinder, all of you, hit the like button, guys, and please give me a +1 in the chat if you have understood it. So this was a very easy problem. Previously this has been asked in a lot of organizations, although this has not been mentioned. So one more thing that I want to say is, if you have any doubts, you can mention that in the comments. I don't think that there are any doubts, although this was mentioned as a medium problem, but it's an easy problem. Thanks Shreya for acknowledging that it's clear to you. So I will recommend you to subscribe to our channel, that is Geeks for Geeks Practice. On this particular channel we'll be bringing a lot of content. From now on we'll be having a lot of surprise series that we have planned for you, so make sure to go through this series, right? And thanks a lot everyone for watching. I'll see you soon in the next live. Till then, take care, goodbye, and happy coding.